Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Link to the Past Randomizer main tournament race. Today we have HayfieldBay versus saltyphry. Saltyphry being the 18th seed, HayfieldBay the 47th. This is game one of their series as they are going to be battling it out to see who will move on in the bracket stage. I am Slim Kirby, one of your commentators for this race, and joined by Swedish Arctic Fox. How are you doing on this fine randomizer day?
Yeah, I'm great, and I'm really excited about this race. I played with Hayfield a lot at Nordic Randomizer, and saltyphry is one of my favorite runners as well. I've been following him for years, so this is going to be a really interesting matchup here.
Definitely. Both these runners are very well-known names in the randomizer community, have been participating in multiple tournaments, so this should be a very exciting match here. So really excited to see how this one's going to play out. This is a game one, so there will be a best of three for this series. Once you win two games, you will advance. So even if you don't get lucky on this first game, you still have two opportunities to get back in here. So
Yeah, I'm hoping for a 3-game here. It would really be fun to see a lot of runs, of course. And by the looks of it, saltyphry is off.
Ooh, okay. So we get bombs from the very first chest. So that's actually really nice. Not going to be really using any of those bombs quite yet, but with those bombs, we'll be able to get the back three of escape when we get to that point. We'll see what's going on with HayfieldBay. Looks like the stream is currently paused for that, so we'll work on that in a moment. But gonna see what the first uncle item is, or the only uncle item is for this seed.
And the bow, I'm guessing we could see a really early Eastern play then.
Who unfortunately accidentally uses one of those bombs, but thankfully still has two to spend, so it's not a big deal. Okay, we do get Hayfield's game feedback, so that should be taken care of now.
Yeah, a bit off sync, but I'm guessing we're gonna sync it up in just a second here.
Yeah, we'll get that synced for you before too long.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a quick escape here because we already have the bomb, so the runners don't have to farm for it.
Yeah, and plus arrows, I think, probably one of the fastest ways through escape as well. Just be able to destroy pretty much every enemy with just one hit. The only difference is maybe the ball and chain guard. You may want to do like an extra pot before using the bow on that, but still, it will be a very fast escape.
Yeah, and yeah, of course, nice to have that bomb for the end to get those last three chests as well. Could be something important, so it's gonna be fun to see what these seeds have to start with. And we are seeing that we are gonna sync up the players now, and also interesting that we are playing hard standard here, so we won't see the silvers.
That is correct. We won't be seeing the silvers. We won't be seeing any mail upgrades. Even though there are 4 swords placed in the seed, we'll only get a max of 3. So basically, I like to kind of tell people when it comes to this, you're basically going to be expected to use like max no major glitches equipment. So kind of the setup you'd have for a no major glitches run, pretty much.
Yeah, and we see none of the players using that pots for the guard, just shooting 4 arrows, nice quick kill, and they're off to save the princess.
Yep, saving that princess in about a little less than 3 minutes, so making some good time so far.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is gonna be a sub 6 escape here.
It is definitely going to be looking like that for sure. Like you said before, having those bombs means we won't have to farm for any of them. May not hurt to get a few kills here and there just to maybe see what potential prize pulls are available for these enemies, but For the most part, they're going to be rushing right out of here.
Yeah, at least Hayfield has the 3 bombs, so it's always good to have at least 2 for Kakariko in the top there. So you have 1 for the well and 1 for Blind's hideout.
And at that point, you're probably pretty likely to get some bombs, at least from another chest, but if not, the Kakariko shop is right there before your next bomb check, so yeah, 2 is generally what you're going to want to have at this point.
Yeah, but perhaps they're gonna shoot maybe an extra arrow on Sun Rat just to see if they have any bombs in the bomb pack or not. So coming up on that Dark Cross chest.
We do already have the key, so we know it's going to be something. Ooh, okay.
Always nice with a fire source.
Yeah, fire source.
Because at this point in the game, I know our runners are really good at executing in the dark. But of course, a fire source is always good to clear out some of the dungeons that are needed.
Yeah, and even if both these runners are very, very well versed in their dark rooms, it's still nice to just have that, just to have increased mobility in the dark. Because normally you have to kind of like fiddle around with your sword, see if you can find the walls and everything. With lamp, you don't have to worry about that so much.
Oh my god, we get the boots!
Wow. Now that is an item you want to find as soon as possible. Really, really speeds things up. We'll also give you a couple of checks along the way as we leave the sanctuary here, so definitely happy to see those when you can.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun to see. I know at least Hayfield loves the boots and are really good at the execution of just using the boots at the right time.
Ooh, and I believe that was the ice rod we got there, so game being very, very generous with some of these items that runners really, really want to find, just to not to worry about hunting them down later, as I believe we get 2 crystals in the light world at both Hera and Desert, and I want to say that was the green pendant at Eastern, or maybe it was just a normal pendant.
It was the green pendant,
Okay.
and that's gonna be interesting to see if any one of our runners are gonna go there. I mean, it's an extra item, and they have the bow, so they can full clear it. And with the lamp, it's actually in logic as well.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting, because, yeah, that would actually be almost pushing me to Eastern at this point, because, you know, it's one thing to be able to get all the items there, but since they're both in logic, Green Pendant really could end up being something right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get an early lumber, and it's only 300 there, so perhaps no Aga today.
Potentially not. I'm not going to use it for that 300 anyway, but may still need it for other Dark World access, but we'll just have to wait and see if we get the other items first.
And I think the bush crab only had arrows there. So nothing really interesting here in the woods.
As usual, the main reason we're in this part of the light world is to check out Kakariko Village. Has a lot of checks in here. 2 of the locations by themselves have 5 chests each, so very, very heavily dense location for finding lots of items, so definitely want to check these out as soon as possible. See if you can maybe get some other items that might actually kind of push you in one specific direction of the light world a little more. Flute's definitely something you want to find early as well.
Yeah, and did you see that pull on Salty's side? It was actually 4 bombs, so that's really good.
Oh yeah, that is actually really nice.
But we also get a lot of bombs down on Blind's out here. Blind's hideout.
We also get the shovel, so that will give us another location to check while we're kind of in the area.
It could take some time before we get the save and quit then, because after that shovel, perhaps our runner's just gonna run down to the south. Depending on, I'm guessing, if you get the glove or not.
Right, yeah.
And nothing really special yet, except for that. And yeah, there we have a bombos. And a bottle, so that's always nice to say, check a sick kid while we're here in town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another item you kind of want to find early while you're making all these checks, so you can get that out of the way, and just having just enough money to pick up that piece of heart from the bottle vendor.
Yeah, that was really nice. Yes, I don't have to go back for that.
Yeah.
And so after having one more rupee than Hayfield, and also gonna buy that from a bottle vendor.
And checking sick kid only gives us 10 more arrows, so getting a lot of those arrow pickups, I've noticed.
Yeah, it had been a lot, so I'm guessing that's a little bit of a hint to go to Eastern, perhaps?
Could be, as we... Honestly, could be, yeah.
Here's the bow, and take a lot of arrows. You need to go to Eastern.
And just a piece of heart at the library.
This is hard standard. We have a asking chat about the mode.
Yep, all of the tournament races for this tournament will be the hard item pool, standard mode opening. I know in the past we've used kind of multiple settings based on runners' choices, but we decided to kind of stick to a more vanilla setting this time, as we do find a first sword upgrade on the shovel spot.
Yeah, oh, it's nice to have that first sword. And Hayfield is going down to check South Shore, and starting with the dam here. Saltyphry just coming after Hayfield here.
Aren't seeing too much of divergence, except right here. saltyphry is not checking the dam at this current point. HayfieldBay does find one of the other medallions, the Quake medallion, and also going to go over here and check Agahnim as well.
Yeah, with the boots, it's actually quite a fast check, so it could be a really good just to clean up and check all the items here early on.
Yeah, I agree definitely. When you have the boots, or sometimes even the flute, it's definitely, I think, advisable to check this cave out, because I know that's definitely a location that a lot of runners tend to skip and kind of leave behind for a while, so it being a Spear 1 location, it can have pretty much any item in the game, so it's not something you want to leave behind for too long.
And that was actually the cape, so that puts Aga into play.
Yeah, it does. That does actually put Agahnim into place, so that could also be a potential move our runners will be heading towards. But it does look like Hayfield is heading back to South Shore, going to be checking Mini Morlorm Cave, maybe Ice Cave. We'll have to see what he decides on that. And saltyphry actually going back to the left to check the dam. We'll see if he goes to Agahnim after this, pick up that cape.
Yeah, and the interesting part here is that the Mini Morlorm didn't have any items, so I'm guessing we're gonna see a full clear on Eastern after this.
Yeah, I think so too. Kind of actually at that point where we're running out of logical checks at the moment, so that's more than likely going to be their play. it's really the only area that has items left now. So from there, we'll see what we can get from that, and then from there, we'll see if maybe that Aga play will start coming into play. Basically, maybe we'll get the Moon Pearl from the eastern area, and then just kind of encourage us to go to Dark World from there.
Yeah, we're gonna see where it takes us. If we get the glove, it can potentially be also that we have to go up to the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
But at this point, we can't do much up there.
Yeah, so we're basically going to be seeing something over here in the eastern area that's at least going to be pointing us in like where we need to go next.
And by the looks of it, Hayfield is setting up the water walk, so maybe we're gonna see a hobo check here.
Yeah, it looks that way, as we are going to check the back of Sahasrala's closet now as well.
Wow, that got nothing.
Oh, there's something. It's going to be an Eastern or that green pendant. The checks HayfieldBay is about to make, they're going to be out of logic at this point. We don't have the flippers. And that heart is going to actually put him back in the swimming state, so he's going to need to swim back to land here before getting hit.
Yeah, and he don't have the Sora money, so just checked Sora ledge, and I'm guessing heading to Eastern now.
Mm-hmm. It is unfortunate that he got that heart piece, though, that put him back in that swim stay. I think he was kind of wanting to at least check a hobo before getting back out of that flipper state, but oh well, we'll have to just leave that behind for later.
Yeah, I mean, if this is Agassi, then that would be something really important, like a glove or something that's gonna lead us out of logic. It could mean that they can skip Aga.
Yeah, looks like both of our runners are not going to be skipping it today, so we'll have to keep an eye on that later if we see that check. Maybe ends up being something, like you said, that we could have used to skip Aga.
Have you seen any items in Eastern yet?
I don't think so. Nothing of major importance here yet, anyway. So.
Yeah, but like the chat were calling it earlier, it could very well be a Moon Pearl there on the green pendant, and then the check are over, and we have to go to defeat Aga.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, even could be a case where the Moon Pearl is laying right there on the pyramid ledge at this point, so may not find anything in Eastern at all, but I have a feeling we're going to find something in here. Yep, there we go.
Wow, yeah, there it is.
But the question is, will we find something else?
Yeah, I'm guessing not actually. I think it's gonna be everything, like have to go to pod and stuff after Aga.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even go to Catfish with no glove.
Right. Yeah, that's more than likely going to be the case here. Pod, it does have a lot of items going for it, so that very well could be where we need to head next. And looks like our final item is going to be on the Armos Knights.
Yeah, and with that green crystal, we also gonna green pendant. We're gonna get an extra item from Shashala after this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Saltyphry using that rupee rune to get some more rupees. I'm guessing just for pod eventually.
Yeah, and that is actually a good call that he did remember that, because Yeah, you do need 110 rupees to even make it inside Palace of Darkness once you get there, so good call to just make sure you just had enough to make it in there.
Yeah, it's easy to forget, and if you go there and don't have the money, it's gonna be a huge time waste.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, gonna see the Armos fight for saltyphry. Setting up the quick kill here, looking pretty smooth. And there we go, nice. And well, okay, we have all our medallions now.
Wow, I like that. No medallions, no
Yeah.
ice rod, so we don't have to search for those items.
Yeah, that's definitely they're definitely gonna like that. They're gonna have all those taken care of. Oh, and we do see that Hayfield does not go to the rupee room, so he is going to be down on those rupees for the Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, and I'm guessing he picked up the Moon Pearl.
Yes, he did.
Did we get something from the green pendant?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so Hayfield are missing 24 rupees here.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but as Chad did point out, there is a 300 on Lumberjack Ledge that we can go pick up if we absolutely need that. There are also some rupee pots we can also get inside the castle tower as well. But yeah, at this point, we have no other items in the light world, so we're going to be moving straight to the dark world. That's why we're basically climbing Aga's tower today.
Yeah, and Hayfield did some water checks there, except for Sora and Hobo.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the difference we're seeing right here in this race. Really, just again, that's that one check, and I don't think saltyphry actually checked Ice Rod Cave either. So that's another kind of time differential we're seeing here.
Yeah, he skipped out on that. Went from Mina Moldom and then just went left to Dam and Desert. Hayfield picking up those rupees. I'm guessing he know that he needs 19 more. So how many blue balls do we think Aga is gonna have for us today?
I know I see a lot of people say 15, but like I've honestly never seen a case where it's been that many. So probably, I'm gonna go a little low end here and say there's only gonna be 2.
Yeah, it's the most boring fights. I'm always hoping for like 2 or 3. I'm guessing 3 this time.
Yeah, I think 3 is like again like the most common choice statistically, anyway.
So only 13 more rupees for Hayfield.
Yeah, so he is going to be short a little bit. And the other could be like a green 20 or even just a red 20 or just some rupee amount on the pyramid. So could still be fine.
Could be, yeah. That would be really lucky for Hayfield.
Yeah.
And I'm bad at counting. Do we have 2 balls there?
I'll take a look at Hayfield and see what we got.
I think that's the 3rd. Yeah, I think the magic number was 3 actually.
Oh wow, well, you called that one.
Yeah, but like the chat were saying, I think 3 is like the most common.
Yeah. Ooh, just bombs in the pyramid. So Hayfield will need to find some extra rupees somewhere.
Yeah, we have to kill some extra enemies here.
Wow, and honestly, all I saw there was Palace of Darkness, but Palace of Darkness is also a pendant today.
Oh wow. It looks like it could be a pet seed then.
Could be. I mean, definitely not out of the realm of possibility at this point.
So now it's gonna be interesting to see how Hayfield is gonna do this.
He is going to save and quit. I think he does realize that he does not have the money, so he's probably going to... Yeah, he's probably going to go pick up that Lumberjack 300.
Yeah, it was nice that he remembered that.
And like, even it is going to be a little extra time to go get it. Actually, he's going over here, but
yeah, this looks like a hula hand.
Oh yeah, hula hand, of course. Yeah, that works too. But yeah, it may seem like he's losing a bit of time by doing this, but honestly, it'll give him some nice kind of seed money for like stuff later on. Because I mean, we still have some of the other checks we need to do, like Zora. There's lots of stuff in the Village of Outcasts you need rupees for as well. So it's kind of good just to get all this money out of the way now.
Yeah, good to have. And it wasn't the key in the first chest, so it was bow locked, but we have that bow.
Of course, though, we do not have that hammer, so once we get the 2 items back here, unless one of those items is the hammer, we're going to have to take a death warp to go back to the start.
I'm guessing the hammer is gonna be here.
No, death warp.
Oh, we got the hammer.
Oh my god, it was the hammer.
Too focused on Hayfield.
Yeah.
Rupees.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, we did get the hammer. I guess that was what was in the first chest then.
Yeah, well, that's great. I'm guessing both runners gonna finish off pod then. Because with no glove, I'm guessing it's not much open.
Yeah, with the hammer, we could at least, check out the Hype Cave, get 5 more chests. But I swear the 5 cave chests have not been paying off very much in the seeds so far. It seems like.
No, it had been really empty.
Okay, yep, there was the hammer, so we got that.
And it's really good that saltyphry going to the boss there. If you have the big key, it's a better time save. If you don't have the mirror, just to go to the boss first. Oh, we didn't have the big key.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. That is, I always thought there was at least a big key door like earlier on, but yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, that's quite late. And Hayfield taking the death warp there.
He could have jumped down, but I think he just kind of wants to route in these two chests at the beginning, the big key chest and the bottom chest together.
And a key for a key there. And there's that big key.
Yeah, at this point, I think he's just going to go to the back and get all the items as opposed to going for Helma again.
Yeah, I'm guessing that too, just to check what items we have here in the back. More arrows. Yeah, nothing really interesting yet in pod except for that hammer.
Yeah, so far this seed is really just kind of like throwing us to like one location at a time, giving us like the next item in progression, and not really like giving us a whole bunch of items to work with, so it's been pretty linear so far.
Yeah, and there was only 20 rupees in the dark maze. And there's that map, so I'm guessing Helma is gonna hold one item also.
Unfortunately, the heart container kind of messed up Fry's death warp a little bit, but is able to lay one extra bomb to get that remaining heart down.
Okay, and we see chat are saying that Skullwoods are the third pendant.
So we can't quite clear that, but you know, just a fire rod from being able to get that pendant. So honestly, Ped Seed pretty possible at this point. Only one item's blocking it right now. And we have 5-6 crystals at Turtle Rock and Thieves Town, with the rest of the dungeons being crystals. Okay.
Oh wow, and Hayfield is actually skipping out on Helma here.
Interesting. So yeah, Helmasaur is going to be kind of a loose square for Hayfield, but you know, could be wanting to use that hammer as kind of his reasoning for going somewhere else right now, and I think that's it's a very strong play, because hammer does open up those 5 chests in Hype Cave, or 5 items in Hype Cave rather.
Yeah, and we got Stumpy and also Race Game. Dig Game.
Yeah. So we have those going for it as well.
So 7 interesting checks. Let's see if it's something good here. If Hype Cave is hype or not.
Ooh, okay. Ooh!
Oh my god! Mirror and hookshot.
That's a good find. So mirror obviously will give us a bunch of mirror checks. Going to be seeing one of those coming up right here. Hookshot actually does give us something right now, because at this point, Hookshot is our logical access to the east side, or not east side, the west side of the Dark World. So we'll be able to use the hammer to knock down that hammer peg and then hookshot on over. So we'll be able to check out Village of Outcasts, Thieves Town, all those other locations.
Yeah, kind of mean see that you have to go around everywhere, but yeah, at least we have the boots, so it's quite fast to just run around doing those extra long rounds going around in Hyrule here.
Mm-hmm. Especially since it seems like Seed's being kind of stingy with those gloves right now. So, yeah, gonna have to go around, basically, like you said.
And nothing really interesting on Helma, right?
No, it didn't seem like it,
I think it was like the boomerang or something.
Yeah, I think I was too. But, even though that item not going to be necessarily required for Hayfield, you know, the pedestal is still kind of at large, so we'll see if that pendant comes into play later, but for now, gonna keep going on this little path we have going for us right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's one of our gloves. Okay, so that'll give us a little more wiggle room to kind of check locations and get to the Dark World easier, and with that, we actually have some mountain stuff we can do now, too.
Yeah, that's right. I guess we're gonna Thieves Town and Village of Outcast. It would be a bit more nice just to get the mitts before we go up the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, you're definitely kind of hoping for mitts before you go up the mountain. That way you can just check everything on the mountain at once. So that's more than likely what they're going to be thinking with us.
Yeah, let's see if we're gonna get a Skullwood check as well. A lot of players usually like to see it like an overworld check, just to go in there in the back, and hoping to get something nice on those two items.
Yeah, I'm much like people who think that. I kind of see it as just like basically just another overworld cave you can check along the way. It's kind of segmented in a way where you don't have to commit too hard to clearing the dungeon. You can come back pretty easily, so I don't think there's any really harm in going in early, finding the two items as quick as you can, if you can, and just getting that out of the way.
Yeah, and now when they have the mirror and boots, we can also check Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb if we decide to go that way, and of course Bumper Ledge with that cape.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Hayfield's kind of routing this in kind of a clockwise fashion, where, you know, he got the glove from the digging game and just kind of going up, just crossing off all the locations one by one, kind of in a clock formation. So looks like what he's kind of doing right now is he gets one of the 300s in I believe that's a vanilla location for one of the 300s, so that's kind of nice.
I'm guessing Salt is gonna head over the same way that Hayfield are. I think.
Yeah. Well, he's actually going to be saving and quitting, though, which honestly I think is just as good as just mirroring and going up there. But you do start from the pyramid. Actually, he's going to be, instead of the clockwise routing, he's going a counterclockwise routing. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, why not? You can route in catfish from this way also.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if there's any different items on this route that might potentially change his plans, but he is going to be leaving the catfish check at least alone for right now.
Well, he haven't done the Sora checks, so I'm guessing he's maybe waiting for the flippers before going there.
Yeah, could be waiting for flippers. Also doesn't quite have the rupees as well, so yeah, that could very well be the case. He's waiting until he has those items before he makes those checks.
And which Stanyos is the red crystals? Do we know that? Is it Thieves Town?
Yeah,
Turtle Rock?
Yeah, Thieves Town, Turtle Rock. We did actually get the fire rod here in Thieves Town as well. So that is the pendant access we were talking about earlier.
Oh wow, nice to go down here. Then maybe full clear Skull Woods.
At this point, Hayfield's going to want to maybe find the book at some point soon, so that way, once he's done checking Skullwoods, he can at least check the pedestal, see what's on there, see if he has to maybe make that trip back to Palace of Darkness at some point.
Yeah, if we don't get that book and saltyphry checks that, that could be a huge advantage for him.
Yeah, definitely. Although at this point, once saltyphry finishes Skullwoods, he's probably just going to pull the pedestal at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna. Okay, he's gonna actually get the. Oh, he's going to the mountain. Okay, I thought he was maybe going to grab that 300, but no, he's going to check the mountain now.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of checks as well. And we can full clear Hera.
This is true.
Yeah, Skullwood seems a little bit unnecessary at this point. That is true, chat. Ooh, flippers. That puts Swamp into logic.
Yes, it does. Okay, so that's another dungeon we can kind of start putting into the equation now.
I'm guessing Hayfield could actually go there before going up to the mountain.
Yep, it's not everyone's favorite dungeon to go through because it can kind of take a while, but it does have 6 items on the table, so definitely not one to leave out of the equation for too long.
Wow, 2 bottles in Parallax Cave.
Yeah, 2 bottles there. Meanwhile, Hayfield having a really nice blind fight. And gets his first crystal of the seed. Wow, 40 minutes and only at 1 crystal. That's kind of slow progress, but again, the seed's been very linear so far and forcing us basically through 2 pendant dungeons just to get to this point.
Wow, just a lot of money. So we still need the red cane. We need the flute and mitts, I think, for go mode at the Hayfield.
Yes, and another sword upgrade as well. So we'll
that's
need.
True.
But you know, there's going to be plenty of checks along the way. I'm sure we'll at least be able to pull one out somewhere.
There's the book on the floating island.
Fortunately, with no mitts, we'll be unable to get that right now. So ped knowledge will still be kind of elusive for the time being.
And Hayfield has Sora money here, so I'm guessing it could be a catfish and into Sora here after those 2 checks here.
Yeah, that's what that's looking like for Hayfield.
Saltyphry going up to clear out Hera. Perhaps ending into checking a Spike Cave. Wow, so the mountain had nothing.
Yeah, just a lot of money and a book that we can't quite get yet.
Yeah, and those bottles, so a little bit of safety.
Yeah.
Oh, Hayfield is turning back, maybe going to the mountain as well. Yep.
So yeah, all we got left on the mountain, at least for Fry right now, is the 2 items here in Tower of Hera and Spike Cave, like you mentioned. It's looking like Swamp is probably going to end up being our next location. We haven't seen not Thieves Town, Skullwoods yet either.
Yeah, at this point, I think one of those locations is gonna hold mitts or flute, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, we can't go in. Yeah, you have the flippers, so yeah. Oh, Hayfield is saving quitting. Maybe going to Swamp here.
Okay, yeah, he just wanted to get that save and restore point, so...
Wow, really nice routing, actually. He was in the area, just taking the old man home, and yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of in the area anyway, so yeah, honestly not a bad time to just go ahead and just go up there and do that really quick. And, you know, at this point he's looking for mitts so he can do a more thorough check of the mountain first. I think that's actually a really good play by him to do that.
Yeah, and Paradox had nothing, so at this point I think this is a really good play for him.
Mm-hmm.
But Hera can hold some interesting items here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Shot is pointing out we haven't seen Hobo yet either, so that could be something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably after Swamp. If Swamp doesn't happen to turn up with anything, that's more than likely.
Wow!
Ooh.
Mitts on Hera, that was really nice.
Okay. Yeah, that is going to be really, really nice for him. He'll be able to check the dark side of Death Mountain. That was exactly the thing he needed to find, I'd say.
Yeah, it felt that he was a bit behind, but with those mates, well, that was a turning point for him.
Since we got the second item right after that, we know the Tower of Hera is pretty much completed now, so don't have to go back in for the basement.
He actually went to the basement.
Oh, he did?
The big key.
Oh, okay. My bad.
And was the mates? No, it was not in the big chest, so...
It was the chest below the big chest.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's see if Hookshot Cave have something and perhaps Super Funny. Unfortunately for Salty here, if he finds that red cane, he still won't be able to go into Turtle Rock because they don't have the fire rod, or at least don't full clear it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to go back to the land and go through Thieves Town to get that. But we do have Ether, which I believe that was the most recent medallion we got, but both runners have all 3 medallions, so not a big deal.
Oh, Hayfield forgot to get that first key. He's setting up for a bomb diver down by the looks of it.
Yeah, that looks to be the case. Or actually, no, going straight to the back.
I was going left there, but because I guess he had so little health, maybe just go to the boss here.
Yeah. If he is going to be using Bomb but Diver down, does need to be a little careful with this. Does manage to pull it off, though.
Powder there in Hookshot Cave. And half magic.
Very magical cave today for Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, Salt is gonna pick up that book, so perhaps when he goes near Thieves Town, it could be a potential check on that ped as well.
Mm-hmm. I think he's got one more check to make, and that check is going to be Spike Cave.
Nice doubles there from Hayfield.
Not so nice dead rock blocking Fry's exit to that screen.
Yeah, all runners' favorite creature. Nothing on tablet. Wow, that boss kill from Hayfield with the ice rod.
Yeah, really, really nice. So that will give Hayfield 2 crystals to saltyphry's 1.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting here to see if Hayfield is gonna go back in, or maybe head up the mountain. No, back in.
Yeah, at this point we're still looking for 3 items, or at least he's looking for 3 items, so I can understand going back in just to get these out of your mind really quick.
Yeah, I don't know how many checks he have left here, but he got the big key at least.
Okay, I guess that's all he's won to check, just the big chest. Gets a heart piece and gonna leave.
This is a hobo check, perhaps? And hide island?
Yeah, I guess he hasn't seen the island yet. Ooh, just one of the green 20s, so for those who haven't seen the green 20s, basically those items we talked about before that you will not get in these hard item pool settings, the potential final sword upgrades, silver arrows, mail upgrades, any extra heart containers and heart pieces, they'll basically get replaced with green 20s once you get to that point of the item progression. So if we find a sword upgrade, it's still going to be a sword upgrade, but once we get 3, the last one will turn into that green 20. So that was more than likely either a mail upgrade or the silvers that we found on the island.
Yeah, and Hobo had just 20 rupees, so nothing really interesting there.
So that Hayfield is going to start working on the mountain check, so we'll get the Titan's mitts, and we didn't find the cane up here, unfortunately, so Turtle Rock will have to be put on hold still for the time being, but Titan's mitts will give HayfieldBay Ice Palace, as well as some overworld checks in the form of the blacksmith chain, so that's likely going to be the next step of the progression here, unless, again, there's still something in Skullwoods or the pedestal.
With that book, gonna have access to Desert Palace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so from saltyphry here, we're likely going to be seeing Thieves Town. Now that he will be getting the fire rod from here, he's going to be jumping straight up to Skullwoods after this, I imagine.
Yeah, that's a really smart guess, and just checking that ped as well.
Mm-hmm.
And one good thing for Salty also that he has the book. When he done Swamp, he can also check that Bombos tablet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Don't have a sword, so he can't get it, but he can at least read what it says.
That classic saying, knowledge is power. Even though we can't get the item, just knowing that it's there, like, it's essentially, once you get all the other items, you need to get that item. If that's the last item, you kind of know at that point, oh, hey, I'm in go mode now. Just have to go pick this up really quick.
Yeah, right. And we see Hayfield doing the spiral cave the nice way with the boots.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked why Paradox Cave is called Paradox Cave. It's actually kind of interesting. The entrance on the bottom of the mountain, where Hayfield's going right now, is actually the middle part of the cave. But the entrance that's just a little bit higher is apparently the bottom of the cave. So that's why it's called Paradox Cave, is that it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in how it's laid out.
Yeah, I learned something new today. I've been thinking about it, why the layout is like that, but yeah, video games, coding.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so Hayfield is gonna pick up those mitts soon here and get his third crystal. Let's see if Hayfield also is gonna go to the basement here or going up first.
It looks like he's also going to pick up that big key, which, again, makes sense. He knows that there's still an item left, and while there's an opportunity you could skip the big chest, it's a 1/3 chance, so you might as well go pick it up anyway.
Yeah, and Salty's got those flippers as well, so now the runners have the same item, except for that Hayfield don't have the mitts yet.
Yeah, but he'll be getting those very, very shortly, so they'll be practically tied in item progression. Saltyphry
the
still
book, of course, yeah.
Yeah, in the book. Salty still has all of Swamp Palace to do, unfortunately, but if he finds the right items, he may be able to go mode Swamp Palace again if things get tossed to him the right way.
Yeah, he could potentially do that. But Hayfield didn't lose too much time because he didn't go to the left side.
Right.
And Hayfield's setting up a really nice first try there on
Wow, yeah.
Terrible.
I'm really shaky with directional inputs in this game, so I could not do that. But very nicely done.
Yeah, I do the other setup with the bomb and everything. Oh, we have the book from Salty here selected. Get your hype in chat, guys.
Yeah, I guess at this point he just kind of wants to rip the band-aid off, so if he does get 2 items from Skullwoods immediately, he doesn't have to just clear the dungeon. Just a little piece of love, so nothing on pedestal today, unfortunately. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that it was really good for Hayfield because he didn't clear out the pod when they were there.
Yeah. But it is really interesting that we ended up not having to go for the pedestal, because they were really throwing those items at us to clear those dungeons like immediately. So kind of interesting that it played out that way.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was interesting, like the first item, or I think it was maybe the second item in Eastern was the Moon Pearl, and the first item in Pod was just that hammer. It's like, get the hammer and get out.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, with that knowledge, Salty is going to be not really focusing on Skullwoods, going to be focusing more on these overworld checks. So going to do this first before stepping in the Skullwoods.
Yeah, some new fresh checks here. It's gonna be interesting to see. I'm guessing when he do this with a purple chest, it looks like a swamp play after that.
Swamp play could also head over to desert as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So yeah, a couple of choices for Saltyphry here.
Hayfield opening up Turtle Rock here, but can't get in there without the red cane. So magic bat coming up here. We get the powder up here in hookshot caves, so that could be something interesting.
Nope, just more arrows.
I've seen like all the arrow chests.
I feel like at this point it's had to have been, but I guess there's just a lot of those apparently.
Yeah, and that single arrow in Waterfall Cave. And no one have paid off Sora yet.
Yeah, that's true. Hayfield decided to end up not going to Zora after he kind of finished the Northern Dark World checks, so that is still on the table.
Could be interesting now also that like eyes have nothing and that books leads into desert and we're gonna find the flute there.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing really interesting on the smith chain.
Yep, just some rupees in a heart container, so we continue our path down to the Bombos tablet, which we can't get this yet, but we will get the knowledge of what's on here. Hey, another arrow. Another arrow.
Of course. Oh wow, we're gonna get a desert player before Swamp.
Yeah, Swamp is that classic dungeon where, you know, it's even though it has a lot of items, it's just so much faster to complete it in Go mode. So trying to hold out a little hope before getting your feet wet in that dungeon that maybe you don't have to get them completely wet, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and chat is pointing out Sora and Catfish holding the swords. Yeah, that's not a bad guess, I would
Yeah.
assume at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the desert was boot locked, but I have the boots, so no problem.
Okay, so where is Hayfield gonna go? Oh, there's the
Wow.
flute. Flute in desert. So at this point, we are looking for a cane and we're looking for a sword. That's all that saltyphry needs to finish the game.
Yeah, and finding that flute. Wasn't too surprised to see that in desert. And then MOBAs are holding one item.
And it looks like Hayfield is going to be also focusing on the Smith chain. Likely will be going into desert after that as well. So going to be pretty much on the same path as saltyphry here. The major difference here is that Hayfield has cleared Swamp already. So that could be potentially Salty's next move after this. Maybe he might check out Meyer first, since he did get that flute from in here.
Yeah, I like that play. Checking checkerboard cave and Meyer shed. Because if he finds that red cane, it's gonna be go mode. Well, he needs a sword also, but
I think, and like we know at this point it'd be the correct call, but I think at this point, once you find the cane, like even if you do still need a sword, you still kind of treat most of the seed as a go mode case. So like, you know, even if there is potentially a sword in Swamp, you might be able to find like 2 other swords elsewhere. So you're kind of feel a little more comfortable with kind of going through Swamp in a go mode state anyway.
yeah, it's a really big chance that one of the 3 swords that we are missing, or well, you can only get 2 more, but there are 3 spots, and I guess that one of them is gonna be up in GT.
Right, yeah, GT is always like the most likely candidate just because of how many items are in there. And that's true. We, as our tracker Cyberchow pointed out, there is also Ice Palace as well. That's another dungeon we still have to consider too.
Yeah, but I'm guessing after activating the flute for Salty here and checking the mire, I'm guessing it's gonna go into ice first.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you don't want to go in there if you don't have the red cane, because if you have the red cane, you earn a lot of seconds or minutes even if you go in there with the cane.
True. Well, either way, we're going to be getting that flute activated next, I imagine. So we'll see what exactly saltyphry decides to do. But either way, he has that opportunity to push off Swamp. So I think that's kind of what he's thinking at this point.
And Hayfield did a really nice job with the purple chest there, just leaving it in the dark world and mirroring just beside the guy there.
It's like, okay, you at least attempted to give me the purple chest. Here's the item.
Yeah. I know where it is now.
Okay, saltyphry actually going to go to Mire first. Could be just checking the first few chests on the outside, so the Mire Shed and the Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah, and Hayfield are skipping out on Desert and going to Ice Palace.
So yeah, this is where a difference in play could technically make this race a bit more even. So if you're looking for a close race, this is going to be a very interesting divergence here.
Yeah, and if Salty finds that red cane here in Checkerboard Cave, well, he's gonna earn a lot of time to Hayfield.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it'll be the confidence of being able to kind of skip most of the items in Swamp Palace, so that's going to be pretty huge for him.
Yeah, but nothing there, so...
Okay, well, he is going to go to Ice first. And oh, we still have an Ice Rod Cave, which I think Hayfield checked this, but Salty did not, so I'm going to see this check first. And he might also check the Zora area, too.
Yeah, none of our runners has checked Zora, but yeah, like I said, Hayfield have checked at least, I think both Hobo and Waterfall Cave, Ledge and this. And we're gonna see the classic bomb jump from Hayfield. Wow, nice room there. And for the first time in a long time, we see that both runners are in the same dungeon.
Yeah, that's true. They have had, pretty much since that divergence they had where Salty checked the mountain and Hayfield checked Village of Outcasts, they've been at this divergence for a bit, so it's kind of nice to see them in the same dungeon again.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, guys, please follow HayfieldBay and saltyphry here. They're putting on a really interesting show, and it's only game 1. So
That's right. Could still have 2 other games of this series after this one's over. There's the last bottle of this scene.
yeah, we don't need any more safety now. Have we gotten all the items here in Ice, or is it one more?
I mean, Hayfield's going straight for the end. I guess it's possible you have found them all.
When Salted didn't really get the bomb jump there. But second try. I feel being a little bit careful there. Don't want to take a hug to the cold stairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even though it's more than possible to destroy Cold Stare on Fighter Sword, just makes more sense. Just I have the magic to burn. Let's just fire rod these out of existence and just get this crystal over with.
Yeah, it's a really easy boss fight with that fire rod and half magic.
Yeah.
So Ice had nothing because Coaster hold that last item.
So I think we're finally going to see Catfish and the Zora play now.
Wow, that could be something huge here.
Yeah, it could, because at this point we know that Desert has the flute, which will, lead us to Meyer. Still no idea on that Kane, so I think we're guaranteed to get something from here.
Yeah,
or at Meyer.
Yeah, it could be vanilla. And no one had actually been to Skull Woods yet.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Skull Woods is still a big question mark as well.
But I'm guessing Salty is gonna do Swamp after this.
Yeah. Just the bug catching net from the Catfish, but we still have the 500 rupee check here at Zora.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's gonna be a sword. Or 10 arrows.
It's like that's a theme of this seed or something.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say it was gonna be more fun if it was gonna be like a 20 rupee and it's gonna be like the silver.
Okay, well, at this point, either Meyer or Skull Woods.
And Hayfield, by the looks of it, going to Skull Woods.
I can kind of see why he's doing this. He's kind of hoping to maybe pull out that flute to get to Desert a little faster. And then that way, if that does have the Cane, for example, he can just do Meyer really quick while he's in that area. But unfortunately, we know the flute is in Desert, so at this point, he's just kind of hoping that Kane's going to be in here.
Yeah, it's a very big chance that it's gonna be here.
It's practically a coin flip at this point. 2 items versus 2 items.
Yeah, I think that's all we have left. Well, if we find a mushroom.
True, yeah. Fetch quest permitting still. Saltyphry electing to use his hammer to kind of keep his potion safety still alive. But does get Cold Stare done as well, and I believe that's crystal number 4 for him.
Yeah, I think it's 5. No, 4. Yeah, the pod with that pendant.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, the only crystal he's lacking that Hayfield has is the one at Swamp Palace, and That's after he does these flipper checks. That's probably going to be his next destination. Does not want to go into Mire without Canis Amari, and I honestly do not blame him. It's kind of a risk to do that, but
yeah. But there's one item in Skull Woods, and it was only bombs.
okay. Well, there's still another one.
Whoops. Yeah, no red cane, so this room is a little bit... It's gonna take more time.
Just means the red cane's going to be here, like clearly.
Yeah. You're calling it.
I am.
Nah.
Just okay, well, we're off to the back now.
Yeah, let's see if he's gonna, like, check the ped first. Maybe not.
He might do that, like, if as soon as he finds the item and he leaves this section, he'll probably check that.
Yeah, true. And Salt is checking Sora here as well. Getting those silvers. Oh, so Motuli is actually holding one item. And Salty going for Swamp Palace. We know it can't be on the pyramid because the red crystal isn't Turtle Rock.
Yeah. So if there is something in Pyramid Fairy, it's going to be a sword upgrade at this point.
Yeah. I'm still wondering if Hayfield left something in the swamp here.
Yeah, that's true. I'll try to keep an eye and see where that map and compass was, if they were even found by Hayfield.
Wow, nothing in Skull Woods.
Okay, so yeah, Vanilla Mire, unless there was something in Left Side Swamp, Vanilla Mire is going to be the answer here.
Yeah, that's the thing that pulls progression.
Okay, that actually reminds me, like, there was an item on Helmasaur, right?
Yeah, I think it was like 20 rupees or something.
Okay, so that's also another potential item for Hayfield as well, that because he did not fight Helmasaur King.
Yeah, but I'm guessing he's gonna do Meyer before going into Helma.
Yeah, it's a thing I hear often is that, you know, once you kind of make a commit to a specific skip, it's almost kind of better to kind of keep committing to that skip because, you know, you'd hate to, like, skip it out of principle of maybe saving a little time and then going back early just to later find out, oh, it was nothing, I could have kept doing this. So yeah, I think that that's likely is going to be his last check. Thankfully, we know that that is not the answer anyway, so not going to really be much of an issue for him, but was definitely something to consider at least.
Yeah, but I'm guessing it's gonna be that he will desert here, activating that flute, and then go back to Meyer, and I'm guessing saltyphry is maybe gonna enter at the same time.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is actually going to be converging at a pretty close point for both runners, so...
Let's see if Salty is gonna do the left side here. Nope.
He's also going to the back, okay.
Well, he only had one item left here, so that's understandable. There's that map. Have you seen the compass yet in Swamp?
I don't think so, but I mean, with that map, we do know there's at least one item in the left side, because we know that we found the big key, and there was an item in the big chest. So,
Oh wow, yeah.
so yeah, there's at least one on the left side.
Oh my god, that could be it.
That could be, yeah. That could very well be the case.
And I'm wondering if it's not gonna be Meyer, if Hayfield is gonna go Swamp first or gonna go to Pod.
That's a good question. I do not know.
Well, you know it's not the paid seed, so perhaps
Right. Yeah, that alone might push him a little more towards Swamp, but
yeah.
Either way, you have to go pretty deep in both dungeons, so it's, yeah.
The interesting thing here is Salt is gonna go back into Swamp. I'm guessing he's gonna do it because it's not many more checks left for him.
Right.
Doing that pause buffering technique with the hammer and hookshot.
Yeah, I think menu boss is what I've heard that referred to as in the past.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a good name for it.
Both take down their bosses. Both get crystals at around the same time here. So both have 5 crystals now.
Yep.
Hayfield just a little bit ahead, but he does have to activate his flute, and then Salty, of course, has the decision of whether he goes back in. I think he does, just because, yeah, he has 2 items, so he's going to go make these checks.
So will left side Swamp have it, or the Meyer?
Heck, even if left side Swamp isn't the answer, but has like a sword upgrade, that's going to be good for Salty regardless, because he'll at least have that kind of working against Hayfield, because if Kane's in Meyer, Hayfield's not coming back here.
Yeah, and we're gonna see a left side play here from Salty, so it's gonna be at least one item there.
Yeah, this is going to be an all-dungeon clear for saltyphry, by the way.
Yeah, if we actually gonna do Skull Woods.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's probably not going to do that then. Guess it depends if he decides to maybe do that before Meyer, because...
Yeah, that could be the play, actually. Well, I'm guessing that Hayfield is gonna see him step into Meyer here. What will left side hold for us? Sword or cane? Or perhaps nothing.
Mm-hmm. It's Kane. Ooh, that's Kane.
Yeah, so it was one item left there in Swamp. Yeah, and that is not good for Hayfield.
Yeah, that is unfortunately gonna give saltyphry a pretty big advantage going into this end game. Now, of course, still looking for a sword, but you know, we're gonna be checking. Since we have to look for the big key in Meyer, it's likely we'll find like the items in Mire as it is. Turtle Rock can't really go mode anyway, so likely we'll find a sword along the way, and not here, at least in GT. So.
Yeah, this puts Salty in a quite the lead. The big thing here for Hayfield would be if the sword is really late into the dungeon, and Salty finds that big key early, just going to do the boss.
Right. I've got a 10 bomb, so that's one of the items in Mire.
Yeah, and Hayfield is doing the cut scene room here. Let's see if Salty is gonna follow him through the cutscene room or go the other way.
He's turning around and going the opposite way. And big key in the cutscene chest, so saltyphry will have to come back for that.
Yeah, if that big chest hold a good item here, that could be good for Hayfield.
Yeah, a sword would be pretty good for Hayfield, because I mean we know he has to go back to left side swamp, so having another sword could save some execution time here and there.
Yeah, and by the looks of it, it's gonna be Vitreous or that big chest that's gonna hold an item.
Just read Rupees, so with that he is out of the dungeon, so he needs to go to Swamp Palace next, so don't want to see him go to Pod.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's a coin flip. Let's see what it does.
Looks like he's going to Pod.
Oh no!
Yeah, I guess he just kind of saw this as the lesser of two evils. But unfortunately will not have the cane that he's looking for.
Yeah. And Salty is gonna head up to the boss here with just a fighter sword. And Hayfield double checked, so he knows that Helma held one item.
And you know, it is unfortunate because you know the two skips that Hayfield made to get to this point in the seed, like, did give him some time back. He did actually have kind of the bit of the progression lead for a little bit, even dungeon lead for a while as well. So, you know, those skips were, you know, not bad choices. It just unfortunately worked out that the one choice that he did make just happened to have this go mode item here.
Yeah, That was a bit bad for him. And he went back into swamp and checked that big chest, but skipped out on left side.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think he's gonna feel a bit sad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice strat there from saltyphry.
Of course, working with Fighter Sword, this is going to take a lot of sword spends, but with Half Magic and Cape, is able to at least take out most of these with no issue. Actually, it looks like he's going to continue on with the Cape strats.
Yeah, why not? A safe way to get out of those eyeballs.
Pretty much, yeah. Still has a blue potion left over as well, so can comfortably keep that for Ganon.
Something funny about this seed now is that actually Hayfield is gonna do an old dungeon.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we have done Aga as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we needed that Aga play for the Dark World access.
It's a big chance that we have a sword in TR or perhaps Ganon's tower.
Either way, the remaining sword upgrades we have are going to be likely on the mountain or be led to from items we'll get on the mountain. Because, yeah, this is pretty much all we got left in this seed at this point. Whoa!
Oh!
Cutting through the rock barrier there.
That was a clip. Yeah, and Hayfield is going to check that last location of the red cane. I think he done everything else.
Yep. I mean, at this point, basically both of our runners have full cleared everything to this point, with the exception of saltyphry not going into Skull Woods, so... Yeah, they've covered everything.
And chat are saying Hayfield cleared Maya right now. He don't have the red cane, so he have the 2 items, but not the red cane, because that was in the left side swamp.
Right.
But he have the big key, so it's gonna be quite a fast when he does Meyer, but he's still a bit after here.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be saltyphry's race to lose.
Pretty much, yeah. By the time he gets back to Meyer, saltyphry should be, at the very least, like coming to the end of the Turtle Rock. So we'll have about like a dungeon's worth of, almost dungeon and a half worth of difference there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Hayfield's 3rd trip into swamp.
Yeah. Thankfully, the second trip through was just for the big chest, but that's when he decided, well, maybe I can skip that item on left side and make up some time, which did give him some time, but unfortunately did have the red cane.
And it's such a slow check when you do the left side here in swamp the usual way.
Yeah, you'll see some runners use the kind of a modified version of that diver down setup that we saw earlier when HayfieldBay was going through here. But I think because he didn't have a key to open that door, he couldn't really use that optimally, so opted to just kind of open it the normal way.
Yeah, that's true. Shadow saying it would be really interesting to see if there were two swords and pyramid fairy.
That very well could be the case. Even with that though, there'd still be another sword in the pool. So yeah, I think they're just gonna not even worry about pyramid fairy in this.
Unless they found the other sword, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, because at this point, you get your Master Sword. It's like, okay, I've spent enough time in this seat. I need to just go at this point. I can't look around for that third sword.
Yeah. But that Master Sword Ganon fight with no silver, that's a hard fight.
It is, it is. It's 24 spins you got to do on the final phase, and not to mention all the spins you have to do at the beginning of the fight as well. So a lot of spinning around to get those hits in.
Yeah, I think it's 52 spins you have to do on Ganon.
Yep,
Oh, there's the Master
right.
Sword.
And yep, we have our Master Sword. At this point, like, I guess it just kind of depends on what Salty's feeling like. I mean, I can imagine him just wanting to go. I mean, he has to go to Laser Bridge anyway. Could potentially check a few other chests there just to see if maybe he can pull out a Tempered Sword.
Yeah, I mean, it's a key there, so it's close. You have half magic, so it's kind of fast checks, and you will earn a lot of time if it's that tempered.
Right.
Well, this means that we don't gonna see the pyramid check.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, unfortunately. We have gotten officially capped out on health, though. 14 hearts. That's as much health as you're going to see in a hard item pool seed, so not going to be finding any health. And, ooh, Salty accidentally mirrors.
Well, he didn't have a key there.
Okay, he had to. Okay, my bad. Yeah, so you just have to go back and get a key from one of the other locations.
Yeah, I'm wondering what key he missed, or if it was this room?
Could have been big chests. Yeah.
But then this way, wouldn't it be more costly in time? Maybe the same.
Yeah, it is a gamble that you potentially make in Go mode at this point, especially when you've cleared as much of the game as saltyphry has.
Yeah. Well, this is good for Hayfield at least to
Yeah,
get him catch up a bit.
Yeah, he'll make up a little bit of time from that, but that's also assuming he doesn't make the same decision. Decides to try to go mode it as well.
And Hayfield doing the bomb strat here. And Hayfield is getting his 6th crystal here.
So he'll be on his way up the Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and as you said, it's gonna be just like a dungeon behind.
Yep.
So quite the late go mode actually.
Yeah, pretty much. When you, especially in this tournament, like when you kind of hit go mode a little after the 90-minute mark, you do kind of start feeling like, and especially after you last location, that literally the last location you had left in the game at that point,
Yeah.
it's feeling like you probably behind.
Yeah, I think both our runners are feeling a bit behind here.
Oh, for
and
sure.
Especially Hayfield last locating that on left side in swamp.
Mm-hmm. Fortunately, Trinex does get a little bit of ice on the floor, but if Salty keeps this on the left side, he should be fine.
And wow, what a nice last phase there from saltyphry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he gets his 7th crystal. Do we get the bot running so we can have that fun guessing game?
Unfortunately, the bot is still broken. It seems like the bot's actually kind of broken a little bit beyond that. Oh no, they got it working, but the bot for the game is not working, so... 22 chests in Ganon's tower, so if you guys want to speculate on where you think that big key is going to be, just go ahead and get your answers in chats.
I'm guessing 21. Behind ice armors.
I'll be a little nicer, just a little nicer, and say 17.
Yeah, that's actually quite nice. Yeah, any saltyphry goes in here at approximately 1 hour and 41 minutes, and let's see how long after Hayfield is gonna join him there.
Oh, there is Tempered Sword in the Hope Room, so not going to get any more sword upgrades, so saltyphry... I mean, again, I'm not going to say he feels confident, because, again, getting to this point at 140, kind of feel like you're behind, but, you know, he has at least the full sword, the best sword you're going to have for these settings.
Yeah, and that makes the Ganon fight so much easier just to have that
right.
tempered sword. Don't have to do spins on him.
Right. So after 7 checks, I've not found the big key, but do have a lot of small keys at our disposal.
And Salty is skipping out on the right side here.
Hey, 10 arrows. I guess there are still some more on there.
Yeah, still some more arrows. Hayfield could potentially earn some time here, depending on the routing.
Actually, it looks like he's going to be in the same situation that saltyphry was in. He skipped the big chest. Because he's going to use this small key on this door, and we know he's going to get the sword here, but there is not a sword on Laser Bridge.
Oh, wow. Taking the same gamble. So I think we checked 13 chests so far.
I think we're heading to 13 right now.
Could potentially be that.
Yeah. No, and then I think you're right. I think it has been 13.
Yeah, it has 13. So this check number 14, and then 15, 16, and perhaps 17.
Right.
Well, Hayfield is doing the same thing, mirroring out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure of the time difference, but it's... I think Miriam would, very beginning, it is little, like, if it's not faster, it's not by much.
Yeah. Have you checked the 17 chest now?
Yeah, it looks that way. And this could be a scenario where it could always be that final check 22 in tile room.
Yeah. I mean, Hayfield lost located that cane on left side in swamp. But perhaps he feel a lot behind, so maybe he can take a chance and play that tile room.
Yeah, tile room gamble is always a really rough one, but not going to be that. I believe that was 20.
Nope. Yeah, that was 20.
Okay, so saltyphry going straight up here. Anyway, to answer chat, no, this was not a ped seed, just an Aga seed. Needed to be Agahnim to get to the Dark World, pretty much. But Pedestal ended up being just a heart piece. And again, I think we realized that as far as items inside Pendant Dungeons, it was really just items at the very beginning of Pod and Eastern, and after that you could have noped out anyway, so...
Okay.
Kind of made you believe it was going to be a ped seed, but then kind of just took that away from you after you got the one item you needed.
Yeah, Moon Pearl in Pendant Eastern Palace and Hammer in Pendant Pod.
Right.
And I think nothing in Skull Boots. Because Salt hasn't been there. And Salt making quick work here at the climb.
Yeah, having that half magic is really, really great. Going to be able to use that fire rod very effectively. And he has some potions to burn too, so if he does get low, he always has that as a backup.
Oh, Hayfield was down just to 1 heart there, taking a potion. Who got set with the last fire shot there? Yeah, they got really early boots actually. I think it was in escape already.
Yeah, I believe it was like one of the last... The back 3 of escape is where the boots were.
I don't remember what time I said that saltyphry went into GT, but I'm feeling that Hayfield maybe 5-6 minutes behind.
Yeah, I think it was like 1:41, I think, is when he entered, something like that.
Okay, could be, yeah.
So yeah, about 6 or 7 minute difference. Pretty much about the time of like re-dipping up Palace of Darkness and Swamp.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be a double header. Chat is asking. I don't think so.
I'll check really quick.
Yeah. So Hayfield is entering GT. Let's see his routing here. Oh, Hayfield is actually doing the left side first here. Could mean that he will mirror out from that 4 chest room.
Yeah, that will give him a little more time. It'll basically make sure he gets the big key in the single digits as opposed to the, again, 20, I think is what it was for Salty Fries. So we'll get it a little earlier, but again, that assumes he does mirror out.
Yeah, we'll see. Unfortunately, he's killing off those skeletons.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to keep going on the left side. There will not be another race for this series after this, so not a doubleheader, but there is still plenty of more races for this tournament tonight, so definitely going to want to stick around to see some of those. And I don't know if don't know if there's any on this channel, but there will be on the other Speed Gaming channels.
Yeah, and we're hoping to get some comments, perhaps, from saltyphry and Hayfield after the race.
Mm-hmm.
A nice hook strat there from saltyphry. He makes this fight looks really easy. And there was our fourth sword, actually.
Oh, okay. So, yep, two swords were in GT.
I haven't counted the spins here, but it's soon to be done, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And there is the final strike on Ganon, so it looks like as soon as this transition is over, Salty Fry will be the winner of Game 1. So get your GGs in chats.
So Hayfield was only a climb behind here.
Yeah, pretty much. And does look like he is going to be trying to finish the rest of the seed out.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do too. I mean, especially at this point, you at least get some extra, practice in. Kind of get the execution mindset for Game 2.
Yeah, and I also think it's nice just to see how much time after you are of the other runner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And we are actually joined by our winner of this race, Salty Fry. GG, congratulations on your win in Game 1. How are you feeling after that seed?
Thanks. Pretty good that I won, that's for sure. It was definitely a hectic race. A lot of stuff going on in there with late big key and GT, Turtle Rock big key or small key shenanigans, key and pod. So yeah, lots of little things there.
Yeah, lots of little things for sure, but we're able to take the W regardless. Well, one thing we really noticed is that, especially at the beginning, the seed was very, very linear, like really only taking you to like one dungeon at a time pretty much, funneling you through Aga to get to the Dark World. It wasn't until kind of around once you got the hookshot from the lower part from Hype Cave, that's kind of when things started to open up a lot more. Was there any point where you feel like you were like, because obviously you had that big key mishap in pod, but was there any point after that kind of thing where the seed really opened up that you kind of felt like you had a bit of an advantage of sorts going into the rest of the seed, or did you just kind of feel behind the whole way?
I never really felt too much ahead or behind. I mean, obviously going into pod, you kind of felt like everyone could do that. Whether or not you went to the boss or not was something. I mean, I guess if you were really ballsy, you could have just gotten a hammer and left. I guess that could have worked out really good if you did that. Although I don't know how well that would have worked out in the long run. But I mean, it's a long race, and the way everything was, it kind of felt like inevitably you were going to be chasing something one way or another. So. I never feel too bad about it. Like, I've done so many of these tournament races now that the best thing to do is to not worry too much about what you think your opponent's doing. That's going to lead you to making more bad decisions than actual good ones, I find. So I really just kind of stick to what I'm kind of doing. And if I screw up something, I screw up something and just kind of keep on going.
Yeah, that's honestly a good mindset to have for sure. Ultimately, what kind of held Hayfield up is that he actually did. I mean, he didn't skip right after the hammer. He stuck around and got a couple of the rest of the items in pod, but did skip Helmasaur for the time being, and that did actually give him a little bit of momentum. Was a bit kind of ahead of you in that progression chain for a while, but he did also skip left side swamp, which did have that Cana Samaria, so. Ended up last locationing that, unfortunately. Even went back to Helmasaur before going back to left side swamp, and that's ultimately kind of the difference you're seeing if you're looking at the restream right now.
Yeah, that kind of makes some sense, I guess. Yeah, by the time I went there was really no way I could possibly skip left side swamp. That was maybe in my last locations, other than going like inside Mire without the cane. So I guess I never actually went to Skull Woods either. I never did the front of Skull Woods, so that was kind of always one of those things that was on the back of my mind. Just never really had a good time to go back there. I guess the one time I kind of thought about going there, I just kind of changed my mind out of nowhere and decided, hey, let's go up the mountain, since I was checking Bumper Cave there. And I'm like, you know what? We got a lot we could do on the mountain. Why don't we just mirror and head up there? So I did that instead and put off Thieves Town and Skull Woods for a while and found a couple of things up there that worked out all right, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it gave you not only the mitts, but also gave you access to desert, which would lead to the flute ultimately, and that was the only way you were going to get that flute. So, you know, we were actually kind of wondering if like maybe that was not the play going up there just because you didn't have the mitts, but of course in this particular seed it ended up working out because you had no other way of getting the mitts, so it ended up working out pretty well there.
Yeah, when they're up there, that's just kind of one of those things. And I guess with the book was probably the big one too, since that did kind of take me over. It kind of logically took me over there after I did Thieves Town. I kind of did the Smith Chain, which led me right over to Desert nicely. It kind of felt like at that point.
Yeah. Another kind of heads-up play that we were impressed with early on was that you did to kind of take notice of your Rupee situation when you were kind of coming to the end of the Eastern and managed to go to that Rupee room to stock up before Palace of Darkness. HayfieldBay unfortunately did not do that, so had to take a trip to Houlihan room first before going to Dark World and starting to work on pod. So nice heads-up play there and grabbing those rupees.
Yeah, it definitely felt like you were inevitably going to go to pod at that point. So definitely keeping an eye on that. That was for sure at that point. It wasn't guaranteed. There was possibilities of other stuff, but like just the way the seed was playing out, it just felt like inevitably that's where you were going to go, right? Like, I mean, I didn't do Ice Rod Cave until way later in the end, but I wasn't really too worried about what could have been there at that point in time. Like, I was pretty confident this was an Aga seed just based on the items I had. Like, even though you couldn't get anywhere, the only place you could get was pod. I mean, it wasn't like you could really do anything else in the light world either, so.
Yeah, pretty much Eastern only threw the Moon Pearl at you, so yeah, not much else you're going to do at that point. But yeah, we're watching HayfieldBay starting his Ganon fight here. He is in Phase 4. Does need to be a little careful. He is down to 2 hearts.
Yeah, one hit from those bats and he's gone.
Oh!
Was that a commentator curse?
I'm so sorry, Hayfield. I did not mean that. Okay, well, he's going to jump right back in and take him down.
Yeah, I'm guessing at this point, he's lost, so maybe he's not really focusing on the boss fight here.
Could be, yeah. But yeah, very quickly, once this race does conclude, I don't see any further races for this particular channel, but just started on SpeedGaming 2. There is actually another race going on that just started like a couple of minutes ago between, let me just check really quick, Zelga Descent and Paradox 64, so there will be more Randomizer for the rest of this evening on that channel.
Oh, wow, nice.
Oh, and actually at 8:40 there will be another race on this channel, GFE 12 versus TJ Maelstrom, so...
It's so fun to see all those races, but for us guys that lives in the Nordic, a lot of the races are on the night, but yeah, no sleep at the this time of year.
Yep, no sleep for those who enjoy Rando, I guess. Okay, well, HayfieldBay is back on Phase 4. Okay, getting the triple spin. Oh, there we go.
Nice. Get your GGs into chat, guys, for HayfieldBay.
Will unfortunately take second place for this particular race, but does have a chance to bring it back for Game 2, so definitely going to want to stick around for that.
Yeah, we are joined by HayfieldBay. GGs.
GGs. Yes.
GG.
Yeah. So I'm glad I'm having another chance next week because it didn't go so well tonight with this dude. That's for sure. We had an early Agahnim, and when I started to climb, I saw that I don't have enough Rupees for pod. Could have farmed some Rupees there in Aga Tower, but decided to go for it really hard. And so I forgot about the Desert Palace. I was the tablets, the Bombus tablet. So there must have been something with the focus there. Forgot that desert was available. So and one palace. I was going to the left side, and I forgot a small key in the main lobby there.
Oh yeah, right.
So all in all, yeah, it was a lack of, focus. Felt a bit stressed sometimes there in the seed. So that was it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Completely understandable. And again, you had that skip of the left side of Swamp, and you also had that skip of Helmasaur and Palace of Darkness as well. And making those skips, kind of a strategic move at the time. It seemed like. I mean, it did actually give you a little bit of ground heading to the next part. You were kind of getting the next items in line of the progression tree at that point. So. We're definitely looking good. Those looked like those skips were going to be working, but then as the item numbers kept dwindling, it turns out that unfortunately left side did have that answer in the form of the cane, so...
Yeah, you definitely had. So, so we got the big key going towards Argus, and so I decided, okay, if I'm going back in now. There are 2 items left. If I get an item in a big chest, it's bye swamp. If there's a dungeon item, I will go to the left, because then it's guaranteed 2 items in the left side.
Right. Yeah, and that makes sense too, because again, there were still 2 sword. Like you were still looking for a sword as well. That was one of the final items you needed. So even if it was a sword, like you'd have been covered because you'd have found 2 others elsewhere. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. So did we find a 4th sword?
Yes, actually, the 4th sword, at least for you, would have been in Hope Room. So the first room in GT on the right side. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, all 4 swords were definitely found in this scene.
Yeah, so I was glad to get that tempered sword, of course. But yeah, Hoperum did have a sword and some rupees, so we couldn't go full right if we did Hoperum first. So.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, saltyphry? How was your swamp?
Well, I went there pretty late, ultimately, is what it was. So by the time I went there, I didn't really have a choice as to whether or not I could skip left side. Like, I thought about going there earlier, and ultimately, I was probably going to be faced with the same type of decision you were, and there was a decent chance I would have skipped left side swamp had I gone there earlier. But I had gone, I did desert, I did ice before I went there. So by the time I'd done that, the only place I really had left was Mire without the king. So not going back into swamp wasn't really an option at that point in time for me.
All right, so I can see that. Yeah, it was yeah. I kind of should have done. Yeah, coulda, shoulda. At the point, it didn't seem well to go left there. And like I said earlier, I was actually going left, but I forgot about the key. That's so hilarious. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we noticed that.
Yeah, but throughout the game was really a close game all the way. So it's gonna be really interesting to see game 2 of you guys.
Yeah. It will be interesting. I'm looking forward. It will be next Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. I think it was that time. Yeah.
Yeah, a little ways away, so some time to prep for that now.
Yeah, good time to to practice and everything towards that game. Will be a very important race.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we look forward to it. And I guess just one other thing to point out is that both of you did run into the same incident in Turtle Rock with the small key not being on Laser Bridge. So.
Oh yeah, that came as a shock for me. So, so what is actually the fastest thing to do? Walk back probably, because I instantly mirrored to the front.
I did the exact same thing. I mirrored as well. Like, it didn't really bother me. Like, I kind of saw it kind of coming as I got down to that last chest, realizing, oh crap, this might be this situation. Like, it doesn't mean that, like, it was wrong play this time, obviously, but in general, it's usually the right play to make. But I mean, it's one of those things, like in this, like where most of the time you feel like most of your opponents are probably going to be doing the exact same thing, so it's probably going to be a wash, more or less. But you never know. Maybe your opponent didn't do that. Sun just gained it, so that could feel.
Yeah.
For the most part, most people do just do it that way, I think. And that the only thing that would have made it a little more iffier in this situation is the fact that you were still looking for a sword as well. That would have made it more likely to go check the big chest, I think.
Yeah, because I only had fighter sword then, so. But at that time, it was 3 swords available, so it kind of had to be almost sword in every single, like Mimic Cave, big chest, and lava chest. So now there's one in GT, probably very.
That was kind of my same thinking as well. There has to be one in GT. Hopefully, I get it before the big key. Was kind of what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, gentlemen, thank you both again for the excellent race. Best of luck for your game 2, which, like you said, will be next Wednesday. So if anyone in chat wants to come by and see the continuation of the series, definitely make sure you stop by. Obviously, if there's a restream or anything involved, that'll be information we'll have then. Don't exactly have that information right now. But yeah, best of luck to both of you.
Yeah, thank you. See you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the restream and for the commentary as well. And GG.
GG's.
Well, no problem, guys. Thank you again for the excellent race. Like I said earlier, there is a race currently going on SpeedGaming 2 if you want to hop over for that. But if you stick around on this channel at 8:40, we will have another race on this channel, as well as a race on SpeedGaming 5. And then again, at SpeedGaming 2 at 9:10, there is another race, and I think another race like right after. Wait, no, not right after that. That's the next day. So, yeah, still some randomizer races to go on the SpeedGaming network of channels tonight. So come by and check out the action if you want to see more randomizer.